guys, this is Jenan. We're here at PROTUNING Freaks boot mode. We're in the dyno room. We got the Supra behind me. We are basically going to go through the activation process in boot mode. After that, we'll go in a little bit about the OTS maps, various configuration settings, and what you can do with your favorite tuner in terms of custom tuning. So to get going with the software, you've purchased your software license, you go to the bootmod3 website or you get the app and you sign up for an account, you go in, connect with the car, you enter your activation key, which you got in your email after purchasing the license, and you activate the account. Now, after activation, you've got your VIN showing, it's saying OBDII connected in blue, and you're ready to get an OTS map and get cracking.
Got it!
So in the next step, you would go to the OTS Maps screen. There are a number of OTS maps to choose. You have various stage 1, stage 2, 91, 93, E30, E50 blend maps. You have the 0 Plus from the M340 and you have the multi-maps from CustomROM. This car has a fully catless exhaust, catless downpipes, and a catback. So for this car, the most appropriate map would be something with a stage 2 label on it, 93 octane. And we have a couple of those. The best one out of this kind is the multi-map stage 2. It combines a number of map slots into one flashable map, and you can switch them with the steering wheel. You have FlexFuel in there, and you have the anti-lag. So go click on the Get Tune and get this map moved over under your maps, and you can go ahead and flash. In the case that your car is stock, you haven't modified it, or you just did some basic cosmetic modifications, nothing really in the powertrain, the best map to run in your car, given its stock, is a stage 1 map. This is across all the vehicles that we support. We've incorporated the stage 1 concept, which is basically an unmodified car. You pick the right one for your octane. We also have the multi-map for stage 1 cars, which comes with FlexFuel, anti-lag, and switchable map slots through the steering wheel. So you would go into the multi-map stage 1 and get that flashed. So at this point, the car is flashed, multi-map stage 2 is on it. To configure it, we go to the top right on the config button. You can choose any of the map slots to configure or the general settings about your map. Map slot 1, for example, or map slot 2. We have 3 separate sections here for the map slot. We can go and adjust the burble, for example. So you go customize the burble, and we have duration in regular and sport mode. If you want to make your burble a lot more aggressive, you would increase your duration to anything you would like, up to 5 seconds. Typically, people leave it at 1.5, sounds pretty good. Aggression can be set all the way to 12. What this translates to is ignition timing and fueling, how they work, and basically make the pops either extreme at 12 or nothing at 0. And you can set it anywhere in between. You can also configure it for minimum and maximum speed. So if you don't want any burble at very low speeds, anything below, let's say 10 miles an hour, you can change that. You can set the max speed. You know, when you're going really fast, no matter how loud or aggressive your burble is, you will not hear it. So really, there's no point burbling past, maybe 80 miles an hour. There's also RPM settings. By default, we allow burble up to about 5,600 RPM. I believe this is also the stock setting, but you can increase the maximum RPM setting all the way. We have it 8,000 in case you've changed your RPM limiter from 7 to 8, built your motor, you can go all the way to 8,000. So there are 2 more sections in each configurable map slot. There is the max boost limiter. In this case, changing that would basically allow you to dial back the boost to a maximum of, let's say, 2 PSI. Why would you ever set your car to have 2 PSI? It's because you want to maybe make a valet map. So you're going to give your car away to a friend that's going to potentially abuse your car out there. You want to make sure that he has No fun whatsoever. You set up the map for 2 PSI and they'll be driving a 2 PSI Supra.
Yo, is that a Supra?
The next setting talks about setting torque by gear. So what that is if you find that traction is very limited for what the map is doing, you can set your torque targets to be lower than what the map is doing. So what does that mean? Let's say your car is putting down, I don't know, 500 torque to the rear wheels and you're on irregular street tires, nothing too sticky, middle of, fall or winter, somewhere cold, and you're not finding any traction whatsoever. You can set up your power per gear and actually reduce the torque in those gears so you can always hook up a lot better. And you can change these settings from summer to winter, reflash, and get rid of the torque reduction when it comes to summer, where you want all the power down to the pavement. Okay, so you've flashed your car, you've had the multi-map or any OTS map for a while, and you'd like to move on to the next step. You want to custom tune your car. So on the map screen, you would go to the Request Custom button. A listing of tuners comes up. You can enter a title for your map, a description, where you basically tell your tuner about the mods on the car, the octane you're running, and basically any other details that you would like your tuner to know before they start building you a map. And the last thing is you pick your favorite tuner. For this, I've just created a test account called M3C Tuner, and I'll put in a title for a race tune and add some details such as race gas, 109 octane, big turbo, kit 6870, let's say precision, catless, really any details that you would like your tuner to know, and you would send that off to them. So the tuner will get an email notification that you've requested a tune from them, and they'll log into boot mode and respond back to your request, and basically you kick off the process from there. So in the next episode, we're going to be talking about FlexFuel in boot mode, what's required from the hardware point of view and the software point of view.